life-threatening injuries to years of recovery, the aftermath of a drunk driving crash can be devastating. If you or a loved one have been hurt by a drunk driver, you don't have to face it alone. Call McIntyre Law at 405-777-7000.
Have you or someone you know suffered a loss to your home or business from the recent storms? Before you accept a settlement, call Brown O'Haver at 405-735-5510. Brown O'Haver is a local-based company helping Oklahomans with claims since 1988 with preparation and expert analysis detailing your loss and insurance settlement. As your trusted consultant, Brown O'Haver can give you peace of mind and make sure you're getting what's yours. Call Brown O'Haver today, 405-735-5510, and make sure they're working for you.
This holiday season, get ready to relive the magic. Join us for A Christmas Story, the musical at Sooner Theater. Follow Ralphie Parker on his quest for the ultimate Christmas gift, a Red Ryder BB gun. With catchy tunes, heartwarming moments, and a dash of holiday spirit, it's a show the whole family will love. So grab your tickets and make some memories. A Christmas Story, the musical, live at Sooner Theater December 13th through the 22nd. Visit SoonerTheater.org for tickets and information.
It's football time in Oklahoma. While you enjoy the game and tailgate, let Scissortail Roofing and Construction handle your roofing or construction project from start to finish. Whether it's a damage from a storm or a full construction project, we have you covered. Call us today at 405-928-8089 or visit us online at scissortailroofing.com for a free estimate. Hit by hail? Call Scissortail today, your trusted local roofing and construction company.
Coach Stoops here for Van Hoos Fence. If you want to work with the best local fence company and get championship service, contact my friend Mark and the Van Hoos Fence team. Van Hoos Fence gives each customer the most professional craftsmanship and competitive pricing in Oklahoma. From wood to chain link to vinyl to metal fences, the Van Hoos Fence team does it all. Contact the Fencing All-Americans at Van Hoos Fence, 405-735-1167 or vhfence.com.
Toyotathon's Christmas special is here. Celebrate this holiday season by saving up to $6,504 on a new 2024 Tundra SR5 CrewMax 4x4. Plus, we cover your taxes as part of this exclusive holiday deal. Make your season merrier with Toyotathon's limited time deals on new Toyota vehicles. Get our exclusive offers on new Tundras through the new year at Fowler Toyota Norman, proud sponsor of OU Athletics.
Start 2025 off on the right foot at Sooner Bowling Center in Norman. Sooner Bowling is now accepting reservations for New Year's Eve with special 90-minute lane bookings available online. Spots are filling up quickly, so be sure to reserve yours today. With your reservation, you'll receive 90 minutes of bowling and shoe rental for up to 6 people per lane. Their full-service grill and bar will be open, allowing you to celebrate in style this New Year's Eve at Sooner Bowling Center in Norman. For more information, visit SoonerBowl.com.
Are you looking for a luxury apartment for rent in Norman? The Falls at Brookhaven offers stunning 2- and 3-bedroom spacious floor plans with large walk-in closets, washer and dryer hookup, and a fabulous kitchen in a well-maintained, calm environment. From plush carpet to sleek stainless steel appliances to a pool, 24-hour fitness, and 2 dog parks, the Falls at Brookhaven has it all. Call our locally owned and operated community at 405-701-8233 or go online to thefallsatbrookhaven.com for a free tour and see what living in luxury is like.
The Ref Radio Sports Network is powered statewide by the insurance adjusters at Brown O'Haver. Fire, wind, theft, or tornado, we can help. Call 405-735-5510. Live from the Buffalo Wild Wing Studios, it's time to get locked in to the best Sooner recruiting and football news with Tyler McComas and Parker Thune.
You better lock it up. You better lock it up. No, you lock it up. You lock it up. Lock it up.
Hit the guys up on the Riverwind Casino calling line at 405-329-9000. Text the show on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line at 405-651-3439.
Do it! Just do it!
Now, with Locked In, here's Tyler McComas and Parker Thune.
Boy, all quiet on the portal front today. Day 4, a lot more quiet than some of the other days so far this week. We'll see if things start to heat up as the afternoon goes on, see if we find out any more names that are outgoing via the portal for OU football. How's everyone's mood right now? We're kind of in wait-and-see mode at certainly at wide receiver, but on the offensive line, tight end, some spots on defense. Text line, how we feeling today? Day 4 in the portal, and you don't have a portal commit just yet. Not saying that that's a bad thing. Not saying that you should panic and freak out that OU doesn't have a public commit via anyone in the portal. But how are we feeling overall about things, about OU's efforts in the transfer portal and the players outgoing? Do you think we'll get a real positive reaction to that question, Parker Thune, or is it going to be total doom and gloom? What are we doing offering crap tight ends while Texas is getting a visit from maybe the best portal tight end out there from Purdue? What's going on? Why aren't we getting visits like that? Maybe we'll get both sides of that. See how everyone's feeling.
You suppose there's a tight end at Stony Brook that Oklahoma could get on the horn with?
Stony Brook U. That went over well yesterday. Did it not? Man. I feel like everyone was in a pretty calm, stable mood until the Stony Brook offer was out, and then all hell broke loose during the afternoon show yesterday.
Well,
Oof.
And if you're anything like Gunny, you're still in a stable mood despite it all.
It's
he
true.
texted in to tell us, well, I just got done smoking a big old joint, so I feel terrific.
Thank you, Gunny. Appreciate that. Thanks for the update, as always. 405 says it's a marathon, not a sprint. And in some cases, that's true via the transfer portal, but there's some good players out there right now, and there will be a lot of players, that still will be available that aren't available right now, but you don't necessarily want to wait around. You want to be very, very proactive when it comes to the transfer portal. Be very aggressive. OU isn't getting visits like that because they're too cheap, says one-star Sooner Gundy. I thought we might get some like that.
Or because, to use the tight end example, Oklahoma just likes a little something different at tight end. No, they haven't really pursued Max Clare from Purdue, the transfer tight end that is at Texas today. But they are pursuing Ball State transfer tight end Tanner Koziol, for my money, the best option in the transfer portal at that position, as well as a recent entry and a talented one in Louisville transfer Jamari Johnson. And Luke McGarry.
Yeah.
There's also Luke McGarry.
Well, they'd offered a lot of tight ends up to this point. So does that signify to us? Jake Roberts is gone. Bauer Sharp is gone. Devon Mitchell is going to be a second-year player, but essentially he should be, kind of a true freshman this year, very much an unknown. Are we to the point where we think that they're going to take 2 tight ends via the transfer portal?
I think they would like to have 2 tight ends.
I would think so.
Yes.
They took 2 last year. Now they're losing both of those guys this year. Just math-wise, it would kind of make sense that they would take 2 tight ends in the transfer portal if they can find 2 players certainly worth their time. That'd be nice. 405-651-3439. Keep the text coming on the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line. Transfer portal is like shopping on Facebook Marketplace, says 50-year-old mistake. If it's good, you better get it as soon as it comes out. I got to be honest, 50-year-old mistake. I'll take your word for it. I have done 0 shopping on Facebook Marketplace. I don't want to know what kind of shenanigans go on there.
Sooners Juts chimed in to say, sources say Oklahoma has offered a tight end from Toad Suck College in Arkansas.
Why do I think there's actually a Toad Suck College in Arkansas?
Because there probably is. That's a real place, isn't it?
If you named a lot of other states, I'd say, oh, yeah, Sooner Jets is, obviously trying to making it funny there. But since it's in Arkansas, I'm like, there's actually a possibility that could actually be the case.
It doesn't look like there is a Toad Suck College, but Toad Suck is, of course, a place.
Well, look, I think we'd all feel a lot better if in the next week they, got a tight end that's proven that we could all be excited about. It'd obviously help our mood if they could sign a wide receiver too that, well, maybe they're not from Stony Brook, whatever, but they're a proven commodity playing college football, big body. That would be nice. Would help if you could find a couple of offensive linemen as well. Like, all those things would be good. It would make you feel good in the moment, but nothing's going to make us feel better than going and getting a big-time quarterback in the transfer portal.
Someone like
John Mateer out of Washington State is ideally who I'm thinking of. And the scuttlebutt out there, man, I feel confident he's at least going to be available. We'll see if OU gets him or not. I think that they are going to make a very competitive offer for Washington State quarterback John Mateer. But you heard from John Canzano last hour. You guys played that audio clip. He's very much in the know, that area of the country in college football. I would guess right now, Thursday, December 12th, he's going to at least be available for OU as an option via the transfer portal. How confident would you be in echoing that sentiment, that John Mateer is going to be at least available on the open market?
More confident than not.
Yeah.
The likelihood is that he leaves Washington State because he's got to understand, and maybe it doesn't matter to him, but I think it would have mattered to me if I was 21 years old and would have mattered to a lot of 21-year-olds, especially 21-year-olds that were that far from home and had no ties to Washington State prior to going up there. You can hit the open market and probably make substantially more money playing quarterback somewhere else, be it Oklahoma or elsewhere, right? But like the second you enter the transfer portal, you are the most coveted commodity maybe in the entire country, regardless of position.
And I would just be surprised if Washington State can pay as much as, Oklahoma probably prepared to pay, or some other teams out there that need a transfer portal quarterback. And that's kind of where I want to go with the whole John Mateer discussion next is not just Washington State. I mean, Washington State, yes. Oklahoma, absolutely. Who else would be in play for John Mateer? Because as I look at it right now, the big-time players out there, the teams that need a quarterback via the transfer portal, well, Auburn definitely needs a quarterback.
Yeah.
And they're pursuing Jackson Arnold. They're pursuing some other players as well. Miami needs a quarterback. They're going after Malik Murphy, maybe a couple of other players as well. But who's OU's biggest competition, if it's not Washington State, who's OU's biggest competition for John Mateer? Is it USC?
No, it's not USC. I think it's Miami. USC, I've heard some very interesting things the last couple of days about what USC would like to do at the quarterback position. Let's just say if what they would like to do ever becomes feasible and ever actually comes to fruition, it will be a story that rocks the foundation of college football. And yes, it involves tampering. But it stands to reason that Miami, based upon what Ben Arbuckle handed in effect to them last year in Cam Ward, would go right back to the well and make a strong push for John Mateer as well. Makes all the sense in the world. And Miami, as we know, is a school that is ready and willing to pay big money. Auburn is also willing to pay big money.
Oh, there ain't no doubt about that, man.
What's going to be interesting to see is whether Auburn might be able to topple Mississippi State in the race for Jackson Arnold. Because when Michael Van Buren hit the transfer portal, I and many others assumed, all right, well, that seals the deal, right? Jackson Arnold is going to Mississippi State. Auburn got him on campus, and apparently the word down there is Tigers feel like
they're making it very difficult for Mississippi State.
Feel like they're going to get that kid.
Yep.
So who knows, man? But John Mateer will have a very, very lucrative market for his services if he gets in the portal.
Cam says, isn't Mateer a Texas boy? Little Elm, outside of Denton, much closer to home for him in Norman, USA. And that's definitely true. And I think it goes back to OU has some real – if he goes into the portal, I think that he will. I haven't been told that. It's just a guess by me, educated guess. OU has some built-in advantages with this that the other schools don't, which I think it makes it all the more important that if he is available, you got to close and you got to get this guy. Yes, the proximity to Little Elm, Texas. Clearly, Norman, Oklahoma is a lot closer to his hometown than Miami, Florida is, right? So there's a built-in advantage. I don't know John Mateer personally. It feels like he would fit in better in Norman, Oklahoma than he would in Miami, Florida. Obviously, your offensive coordinator is here. That's another massive built-in advantage for Oklahoma. So if he's available, it feels like the one way that Oklahoma could get beat out is if someone just offers him an incredible amount of money, and you can't put it past someone to do that at this point.
And not to point the hose at the campfire here, but let me ask you a question here, Tyler, and this is not rhetorical. I'm looking for an actual answer. What is the reason someone like John Mateer would want to be close to his hometown?
Oh, I mean, parents, because...
Correct.
Yeah, his parents way more able to get to Norman, Oklahoma versus trying to get to Pullman.
But these days, any school that's smart in their pursuit of a big-time portal player is going to bake into the deal that we will make sure your parents and family members not only have tickets for all of the games, but they have their travel paid for and situated for all of the games. So in this era, proximity to home, I'm not saying it doesn't matter or that it can't matter. It matters less than it ever has before.
Sure.
In general.
But still, I mean, even with that travel, even if your travel is paid for and all that, what travel would you rather make? Would you rather make the travel to Pullman, Washington every single week, or the short drive up to Norman, Oklahoma? Right? I mean, that's I agree with you, but I still think that advantage does play into OU's hands. And maybe John Mateer doesn't care about that whatsoever. I think OU's biggest advantage in all of this, if they have one, is the fact that Ben Arbuckle is their offensive coordinator. That's what I think Oklahoma's biggest advantage is. And if he's available, I think you got to go. Get him.
Weston Sooner asks, does Mateer have a girlfriend at OU? No, but
he could.
Maybe that's how you close the deal. Find John Mateer's girlfriend, offer her a full ride scholarship.
Reformed Homer says, how can SEC teams want Arnold? They have plenty of tape. What did they see that every Sooner fan didn't? Well, they probably
the
say
lack of wide receivers.
We could put some
shoddy offensive line play.
Auburn's like, hey, we've got some good young wide receivers that can go get the football. This kid's still got some talent. If we can, have a little run game around him, protect him a little bit. I mean, everyone thinks that they can fix the guy, a guy, right?
Yeah.
And you know that Hugh Freeze thinks like, okay, I can fix this. I can fix this guy right here. Big arm, he's talented. And those things are still true for Jackson Arnold, right?
Yeah.
I mean, he's still got a talented arm. He's just got to get his confidence back and get rid of some bad habits. So I'm sure Auburn's thought is like, we can fix this guy. Our situation will be better around him.
That's the perfect way to put it, because it's like you see on social media when there's a pretty girl that gets arrested and her mugshot gets released, and all the frat guys in the comments are joking, I can fix her.
What about the guy that killed the healthcare CEO?
Well, exactly.
Have you seen those comments?
Jackson Arnold is Luigi Mangione.
I mean,
everybody thinks they can fix Jackson Arnold.
Please,
he's got the 5-star makeup.
Please just cut that video clip and put that out right there. 1.5
Jackson Arnold is Luigi Mangione. Yes.
That's
really what it is. I mean, it's all there. You just got to fix it.
Yeah. 50-year-old mistake says crazy that Auburn wants to bring in a known fumbler. I made this joke 2 days ago. Seeing as how Hugh Freeze treated his quarterbacks this year, especially Peyton Thorne, after they had some bad turnovers, could you imagine how Hugh Freeze would treat Jackson Arnold next year on the sidelines and in a press conference if he has similar fumbles to what he did last year? Oh, God, Hugh Freeze will run him over multiple times, throw him under the bus, put him directly under the bus.
Well, and Jay and Alec said, how do you fix a non-contact fumble? Well, again, mental stuff can be, like, sometimes it can be some of the trickiest stuff to fix. Sometimes it can be the easiest to fix in the world. And non-contact fumbles are mental. Like, that's just stuff in your head at that point. And so Jackson Arnold needs confidence. He needs to be built back up in that regard. And a fresh start should be able to do that to some extent. Reformed Homer, meanwhile, says 3 ex-wives thought they could fix me.
Very, very nice.
And clearly, he's only so reformed.
That made me laugh. 3-star Lost City Sooner. Jackson will fumble the game away to us next year. Sweet! I hope he goes to Auburn next year just for the storylines. That'd be fascinating.
Auburn hand enlargement surgery.
Would you put it past them out there? They're a little crazy. Very nice fan base, but they've done some interesting things in the past, man.
I don't know why I find the Jackson Arnold has small hands meme so funny, but it is so funny to me.
What do you think the reception would be like for Jackson Arnold if he's the quarterback at Auburn in OU's SEC season opener next year?
I'd hope he would be received gracefully.
Do you think he gets a tribute video? Come on, Parker. You think he gets a tribute video before kickoff?
I don't think he would get a tribute video, no. Let's not get carried away. He was the starter for 2/3 of a season.
Obviously, I'm kidding, guys, before you jump all over me on the text line. 405-651-3439 is the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line, where a lot is going on there. A lot is going on on the YouTube live chat as well. We'll get to as many of those as we can. Interest. Where are OU's interest right now via the transfer portal? Some notable names in the transfer portal nationally, and who's set to be on a visit soon. We got the transfer portal covered for you right here on the Ref. We're the home of Sooner fans.
Orange Down Apple Pie Liquor is not your grandma's apple pie unless your grandma was a moonshiner with a PhD in flavor. This all-natural, 6-time distilled spirit is sure to light up any party, tailgate, or special occasion. Whether toasting a touchdown or yelling at the umps because Spike was safe, Horns Down Apple Pie is the perfect drink for celebrating the highs and lows of life in Oklahoma. Horns Down celebrates all of you who cheer from the berm, tailgate, on Lindsay Streak, and wreak havoc on social media. You can find our red bottle at your local liquor store or search for your closest location at drinkhornsdown.com.
Bonnie Raitt, March 15th. And Chicago, March 28th. Riverwind is OKC's favorite casino experience.
How about this? We're hanging out with the winningest coach in OU football history, Bob Stoops, Mondays on the T-Row in the Morning Show. It's the Stoops Review with the HBC on the T-Row Show, Mondays from 7:45 to 8:30 with limited commercial interruption. Every Monday, we'll be looking back at Saturday's OU game with a guy who knows what he's looking at. Bob Stoops, the Visor, the HBC on our show every Monday. Check it out.
When the game is on the line, you need a team that you can count on. When injuries occur, you can count on the one team that knows sports medicine. Norman Regional's Ortho Central is your premier team of orthopedic specialists. With 5 highly trained orthopedic surgeons, 3 fellowship-trained sports medicine physicians, and locations in Norman, Newcastle, and Midwest City, we'll work hard to get you back in the game. Ortho Central, #1 in sports medicine and orthopedic care. Call 405-360-6764 and schedule an appointment today.
Hey, it's Mike Steele here for Cavens Group. Has it ever happened to you? You get home from the weekend, you arrive back at work on Monday, and your office is full of water. Not good. Now we're in that time of the year where pipes or sprinkler lines will freeze, and this can lead to a ton of damage to your home or business. Plus, if it's not cleaned up properly, that can lead to even more costly repairs in the future. Call Cavens Group today at 405-573-3048 or visit cavensgroup.com.
Ho, ho, ho! Want to give the holiday gift of a lifetime that the entire family can enjoy? Let Signature Custom Pools help you create your perfect poolside paradise. With their professional design expertise, quality construction, and personal customer service, this gift will make this the best Christmas gift ever. You can give an endless vacation and get the signature touch with Signature Custom Pools. Call them for a free consultation at 405-898-9098 or visit them online at signaturecustompools.com today.
Get your ugliest holiday sweater out of the closet, put together a team, or register as an individual and make your way to Legacy Park on December 14th, 9 a.m. for the Norman and Parks Rec annual Ugly Christmas Sweater 5K run. Pay $30 for a shirt and medal and have your race timed or run untimed for free. Prices increase on December 1st, so sign up early. Go to Norman Parks and Rec on Facebook for more information. Hands are how we give. Hands are how we receive. To lend a hand and to hand it off. Hands are how we transform and how we redistribute. Our community needs a helping hand these days, and the United Way of Norman is there to offer it. From emergency services to vocational programs to grief counseling for the youth, the United Way connects your gift with the programs that will have the greatest impact on improving the lives of everyone in the community. Make your donation today and raise your hand for your community. Learn how you can give United at unitedwaynorman.org.
When you're high, you feel different. You think different, you talk different, you draw different, you listen to music different, but you probably knew that. Problem is, you also drive different, and not in a good way. That's why driving high is illegal everywhere. So if you're high, just don't drive. Make a plan to get a sober ride. Because if you feel different, you drive different. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Locked in with McComas and Thune, live on the Ref for the home of Sooner fans. Tyler McComas, Park and Thune, Ref Army listening worldwide via the free KREF app. Just search KREF in the App Store. Louisville, Kentucky is tuned in. Atlanta, Georgia, Chandler, Texas, Portland, Oregon, Billings, Montana, Jamaica Plain, Massachusetts, and Duncan, Oklahoma, all tuned in today via the free KREF app. Ref Formula Locator brought to you by Hornsdown Apple Pie, now available in 100 locations across the state of Oklahoma. Check them out at drinkhornsdown.com. That's drinkhornsdown.com. And if you're watching on YouTube Live, pretty cool-looking bottle, would be a great gift this holiday season there with the upside-down Longhorn. Pretty sweet. Okay, to the Knippelmeyer Chevrolet text line we go, where we have a lot there. Also on the YouTube live chat, someone said it sucks being the new Vandy. So we have that. How do you like being the new Vandy, Parker? Having a good time with it?
I mean, you beat Alabama, right? So
it's true.
If you got nothing else to hang your hat on, there's that.
It's true. Bama just can't handle it, man. What's up with Devon Mitchell, says the texter from the 405. There's nothing up with Devon Mitchell. You're just hoping that he has an incredible offseason and he's back and ready to go for year 2. Is there anything else to note there with Devon Mitchell?
No. I mean, he was a guy that showed up and wasn't mentally ready. Physically, sure. He was he could have given you something this year on the field. Could he have given you much more than you had at the tight end position if all that mattered was just going out there and being an athlete? Perhaps. But Devon Mitchell, and you heard Brent Venables talk about this back in September, he just showed up and he didn't really take things very seriously for a while. Yeah. And obviously if you don't have the mental side of things and the cognitive side of things nailed down, you're not going to see the field because you got to know the playbook, you got to know your assignments, you got to you have to be able to function on the football field mentally as opposed to just running around out there and making plays, because while you might be able to get away with that at the high school level when you are the best athlete on the field, you're not the best athlete on the field once you get to college as a true freshman, in most cases, unless you're Travis Hunter, right? So Devon Mitchell, I would think, would be ready to contribute to this team by week 1 next year. This is a redshirt year for him. It's perfectly understandable given that he reclassed and graduated high school a year and a half early. So were there expectations and beliefs that maybe he could have an impact as a true freshman? Yeah, but not the worst thing in the world that he took a red shirt.
No. By the way, Jaden Jackson, congrats. All SEC freshman team, which was put out about 15, 20 minutes ago. He's the lone Sooner on the all SEC freshman team, but congrats to Jaden Jackson, a phenomenal year. And Cole Kublik said, forget about one of the best young defensive line. He's just one of the best interior defensive linemen in the sport, and he was that this year. Big future. Jaden Jackson got a chance to do a lot of things. Some other names on that list that you'll recognize: Dylan Stewart of South Carolina.
Yes.
Yeah, you knew that he was going to be there. Boo Carter at Tennessee. Lenore Sellers at South Carolina. Caden Durham at LSU. Ryan Williams at Alabama. Cam Coleman at Auburn. Jeez, I'm just looking at this all-SEC freshman team. This is like a 10-win football team the way that I see it. This is a playoff team right here, man. Lenora Sellers at quarterback, Caden Durham at running back, and Ryan Williams and Cam Coleman at wide receiver. Dang, that's a pretty good team, man. Good conference, no doubt about it. Okay, in terms of interest, where OU has right now, which, by the way, we're not hearing anything, at least I'm not, about any quarterback outside John Mateer.
Yeah.
So let's go back to what we said a week ago, is that this week could be very telling in what OU believes its chances are with John Mateer. And Michael Van Buren's out there. Not much going on. I mean, there's a lot of quarterbacks that are out there right now. You're not hearing any offers. You're not hearing any visits. So that would lead me to believe, as of right now, OU would feel, at least confident about their chances.
And they
based
are.
On the offers.
And until they know for sure what's happening with John Mateer, they're not going to seriously pursue another quarterback, because why would you get too far down the road with another guy and then John Mateer does get in the portal and he does want to come to Oklahoma, and now you got to tell a kid to kick rocks because the guy you actually want is here. So Oklahoma, it's certainly in their best interest not to get too advanced in terms of the relationship with any of the other quarterbacks in the portal right now, but they are monitoring options. They are evaluating options. A guy that I really like, especially for Arbuckle's system, like let's say things don't work out with John Mateer for one reason or another. a guy I think Oklahoma would prioritize and make a run at, and a guy that I think is really, really talented and a good fit for what Oklahoma wants to do offensively is Cal transfer Fernando Mendoza.
Yeah. Yep. He entered in the portal, 2 days ago, maybe?
A couple days ago.
And here's kind of how I view the quarterback situation for next year in the portal. Tell me if you agree, disagree.
Okay.
If they get John Mateer in the portal, I'm not telling you that I think that they would name him the starting quarterback that day or even the starting quarterback during spring, but I would feel very confident that John Mateer is going to be the starting quarterback next year. For as much as, they would probably have to pay him to get him to Oklahoma, like the significance of kind of the package that they put together to get him, it's not a guarantee, but I think John Mateer would be your starting quarterback. As things sit right now in terms of quarterbacks that are available, I think anyone outside John Mateer, if they get John Mateer, I think he's your starter. If they don't get John Mateer, well, I think they get another quarterback via the portal, but anyone else, it's a legit battle with Michael Hawkins.
Sure.
Agree with that?
I would agree. And Tim from Chickasha asked, so is Michael Hawkins trash? Why is OU looking for a new quarterback? Well,
no, Michael Hawkins is not trash.
First off, no, Michael Hawkins is certainly not trash. Secondly, Oklahoma's looking for another quarterback because this staff learns from their mistakes. That's the lesson here. That's the takeaway here. This staff learns from their mistakes. What was their mistake this past season? Well, obviously hiring Seth Luttrell as offensive coordinator was a mistake. We all can see that. Brent Venables acknowledged it. That was one mistake. The other mistake was betting the farm on a kid who had one collegiate start to his name in Jackson Arnold. Here in 2024, as we look ahead to 2025, yes, this program has high hopes for Michael Hawkins. They think he can be a dude. They think he can be the dude. But they're not going to bet the farm next year, in a year where they have to win to keep their jobs, Tyler, on a kid who's got 3 collegiate starts to his name. If he goes and wins the job this offseason, great. Over Mateer or whoever, awesome. He's earned it. But you can't go into the offseason with exactly one quarterback on the roster in Hawkins who has ever taken a collegiate snap, because the other guys are Brendan Zerrog and Jet New at this point. And you can't count on him being the guy that's going to lead your program to glory next season. That's not to say he can't be that guy, but that's too big of a risk for this staff to take at this point for where they are.
You could also just say it as simply as, well, why are they not just rolling with Michael Hawkins? They just hired a guy, an offensive coordinator, and his quarterback last year, pretty good player. And there's a chance that he would be a real immediate upgrade for you at quarterback, right? I mean, it makes too much sense to not go after John Mateer. I mean, it's pretty simple there. Interest right now for OU. I did see today Georgia Tech offensive lineman Corey Robinson could be in the mix for Oklahoma. Yes. Arkansas, Texas Tech in on that one. But a visit soon for the Georgia Tech offensive lineman, potentially?
Yes, he is visiting next Thursday the 19th. Corey Robinson will be in Norman at that point. So, that's a guy that Oklahoma could land. That's a guy that Oklahoma would love to have. Now the interesting question becomes, do they fill up before Corey Robinson even has the chance to get to town? And if they do, if they have enough guys that want to jump on board, do they hold one or more of them off in order to wait for Corey Robinson and some of these O-linemen that might be visiting a bit later on in the process? Because Ethan Onion was coming this weekend.
Yep.
Derek Simmons is coming this weekend. Luke Paklenko's coming this week. And so, let's say 2 or 3 of your targets that are visiting very soon want to jump on board, want to be Sooners. Do you just tell Corey Robinson, hey, thanks but no thanks, we're filled up? Or do you kind of establish a hierarchy as to, okay, we'd rather have this guy than this guy, and we'd rather have this guy than this guy, and then whoever the last guy is, tell him, hey, can we wait a little bit here? Or just tell him straight up, hey, go evaluate your other options, and we'll loop back around after the fact, and you try to angle things in such a way as to accommodate a relatively late visit from Corey Robinson. I don't know. We'll see what Bill Bedenbaugh does.
Defensive tackle David Blay Got some Oklahoma interest there. Sounds like USC's involved. Illinois is involved. Penn State is involved. So looking for maybe interior D-line help. David Blay, a potential possibility out of Louisiana Tech?
Louisiana Tech, yeah. Oklahoma's defensive line offers so far are a Louisiana Tech kid in Blay, a Stony Brook kid in Rashawn Lawrence.
Let's go.
A Tulsa kid in R.J. Jackson, and an Arkansas kid in Nico Davier. So 1 for 4 in the Power 4. But yeah, you're kind of throwing darts, kind of taking a little bit of a gamble that a guy like Blay or Lawrence or Jackson is going to have a game that translates to the P4 level of competition.
405-651-3439. Show Me Boomer in Missouri says, speaking of Georgia Tech, any interest in Singleton at wide receiver? Any interest in him? I'm sure that there was some interest initially, but the list for Singleton right now at wide receiver does not include Oklahoma, best I can tell.
Oh, we have news.
Oh, is it 15?
It is 15. Did you know this was coming?
No, I just saw someone text it in, and I was trying to confirm it via social media and find it. Oh, there it is. Okay. Matt Zenitz, Oklahoma wide receiver Brennan Thompson has entered the portal. Thompson, who transferred to OU from Texas, had 19 catches last year. So, yeah, there's that. Brennan Thompson has entered into the transfer portal. All was quiet on the portal front until that one. Immediate thoughts on Brennan hitting the portal?
I did not see that one coming.
Yeah.
I did not see that one coming. And now the question really becomes, what on earth does Oklahoma do in the bowl game?
Yeah, seriously.
Because your only
days.
4 scholarship wide receivers are your 4 true freshmen at this point.
Jeez,
Holy
man.
smokes.
I'm telling you, beat Navy by being Navy. Don't throw the football. Just run it right at them. That's what I say. Yeah, and that's kind of how your immediate reaction. That's been my immediate reaction to some of these transfer portal wide receivers is, well, I think next year you can certainly replace those guys and replace their production, but the biggest hit is what happens now in the bowl game. And Brennan Thompson was absolutely going to be a starter in the bowl game and probably someone that you try and feature pretty heavily depending on how much that you throw the football. But as LaDonna from Lubbock just said, let's go, freshman, you're up. And let's feed 88. Maybe just try to win the game without throwing the ball. But if nothing else, throw it to old Jacob Jordan and see what happens. Boy, think of OU's offense in this game, Parker. You're going to have a true freshman at quarterback. You're going to have a true freshman at running back. Maybe your starter at running back's a true freshman. And you're going to have, 3 true freshmen out there at wide receiver, 3 or 4 true freshmen at wide receiver. Over half of your starting offense could be true freshmen in this bowl game. That is insane, man.
We're about to see what the pups are made of, Tyler. Man, Brennan Thompson. Crazy, man. Yeah, like I'm sure people can tell from my reaction. Legitimately did not see that one coming at all. Brennan Thompson was a guy that I thought was going to be back for Oklahoma.
Yeah. 405, thank God Thompson is gone. No production, way too small. Will end up at North Texas or something. You know, he had some nice moments at times in his OU career. Certainly he got injured. He had a few injuries while he was at Oklahoma. And, really ended last year on a bit of a hot streak where he had that touchdown catch, the bomb against TCU, and then he had the long touchdown against Arizona in the Alamo Bowl as well, and you kind of thought, well, if he can just stay healthy and just run straight 8 to 10 times a game with the other threats that OU has at receiver, Brennan Thompson could maybe have his biggest year playing college football thus far. But with the injuries around him at wide receiver and him, maybe being dinged up a time or two as well, it just didn't happen for him this year at Oklahoma. So, yeah, a bit surprised at that one as well. Bit surprised that Brennan Thompson is entering into the transfer portal.
And add another, Brendan Zerrog is in the transfer portal.
What?
Yeah.
Zerb? Dang, what happened?
That's another one that, I'd heard some rumors. Like, I'd heard some people saying, yeah, Zerb's going to be leaving, and I'd heard some people saying, nope, Zerb's staying. And so here we are, and Zerb's gone, which means your only 2 scholarship quarterbacks at this point for 2025 are Michael Hawkins and Jet New.
Just to reinforce the point once again, feels like it must be done for whatever reason every time a wide receiver enters in the transfer portal. Just another reminder of how different wide receiver is going to look next year based on what you thought it was going to look like at the start of this past season. Wow. So, okay, that was a very eventful 5 minutes.
Yeah, it sure was. Holy
Zerb
smokes.
in the portal, Brennan Thompson in the portal. Okay. Hey, if nothing else, you're definitely getting a quarterback in the transfer portal now because of numbers.
Hello.
I mean, you got to get one now. All right. We'll collect our thoughts during the break, get some more of your responses, and I guess talk more about Brennan Thompson, what that means in the immediate future and what that means for next year. Keep it locked on the ref for the Homeless Sooner fans.
Orange Down apple pie liquor is not your grandma's apple pie unless your grandma was a moonshiner with a PhD in flavor. This all-natural, 6-time distilled spirit is sure to light up any party, tailgate, or special occasion. Whether toasting a touchdown or yelling at the umps because Spike was safe, Horns Down apple pie is the perfect drink for celebrating the highs and lows of life in Oklahoma. Horns Down celebrates all of you who cheer from the berm, tailgate, on Lindsay Street, and wreak havoc on social media. You can find our red bottle at your local liquor store or search for your closest location at drinkhornsdown.com.
Stay before I'm through. I gotta get presents and lights for the tree. How will I do it? I don't know. You see, I don't want to take the Ford truck that I got because the bumpers are gone, the transmission's shot, the fenders are rusted, the engine runs hot. Go shopping in this thing? I think not. So it looks like I'm stuck down on my luck. What I really want most is a new Chevy truck. I'd go with a red one. No, make it blue. I can see it right now, all shiny and new. Hey, wait, that's a real one out there on the lawn. I bet Santa left it and had to move on. There's a note on the windshield. What does it say? It says, from Knippelmeyer Chevrolet. You can call them on the phone for free, 485-3333. Go on out and see them. They'll treat you right. Oh, and Merry Christmas to all a good night. They do business a better way out there in Blanchard, USA at Knippelmeyer Chevrolet.
Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Hi, this is Lisa Talley, broker and owner of Aria Real Estate Group. Aria Real Estate Group is Norman's premier full-service commercial and residential real estate brokerage and leasing and management firm. With our team of real estate agents, specialized property managers, and in-house maintenance team, Aria is here for you in every capacity. Whether you're a seller, a buyer, an investor, or a renter, we can help. Please explore our website at ariagroupok.com. Aria Real Estate Group, the gold standard of real estate.
Come see the nation's top collegiate gymnasts at the Sprouts Farmers Market Collegiate Quad on January 10th and 11th at the Paycom Center in Oklahoma City, featuring Oklahoma, LSU, Cal, Utah, and Arkansas, plus 7 other of the nation's top teams. This event cannot be missed, and tickets are on sale now. Visit sproutscollegiatequad.com to experience all the gymnastics action.
Hi everyone, it's TJ Perry here from the T-Row in the Morning Show for my friends over at Joe's Wines and Spirits. The great staff at Joe's Place would like to thank their loyal customers and wish everyone a happy holiday. And speaking of the holidays, whether you need great gift ideas or you're hosting a holiday party, Joe's Wines is there to help with their great selection and most of all, great prices. So do what I do. Head over to Joe's Wines and Spirits, 1330 East Alameda Street, right here in Norman, or visit their Facebook page for all their monthly specials. And happy holidays from Joe's Wines and Spirits.
Matthew.
Huh? Oh, sorry.
It's okay. I just need you to listen to me.
I know that a lot of times, Mom, it might not seem like I'm listening to you, but I am. I hear you. And what you say really does matter to me.
I mean, let's be honest. No kid likes rules, but I get why we have them. I hear you, and I know it's because you care.
For more information about talking with your kids about underage use of alcohol and other drugs, visit underagedrinking.samhsa.gov.
It's the season of lights, laughter, and love, and Oklahoma Electric Cooperative and OEC Fiber is here to make your holidays shine brighter than ever. Since 1937, we've been powering your holidays, ensuring your home sparkles with joy and warmth for every special moment. Whether it's the twinkle of your holiday lights or making sure you are able to connect with friends and family this season, we've got you covered. From the OEC and OEC Fiber family to yours, happy holidays.
Now. We tend not to think about now. We dream about tomorrow, relive yesterday. But right now in front of us is victory over cancer. Right now, cancer research funded by the V Foundation is leading to better treatments and saving lives. Victory over cancer is there for the taking by you, because today's cancer research is tomorrow's victory. Learn more at v.org.
Don't give up. Don't ever give up.
Dorsey Jones, Buick GMC in El Reno, bringing you this hour of Locked In with McComas and Thune. Dorsey Jones is family-owned and operated, established in 2020, but many of their employees have been there for more than 20 years. Their low-pressure environment creates an enjoyable experience for everyone, and their sales staff is knowledgeable and eager to assist you before and after the buying process. They have all that and incredible pricing as well. Dorsey Jones, Buick GMC. In case you didn't hear, Thompson, Zerrog, in about a 3-5 minute span last segment, have both announced their intentions to enter into the transfer portal. Bit of a shock that Thompson is not going to be back, and now you're going to be throwing out a bunch of true freshmen for this bowl game coming up in 15 days against Navy. But so that's the short-term effect, not having Thompson. He was going to be kind of one of your lone vets at the wide receiver position for the bowl game. What about long-term? Like, no disrespect to Thompson. He's got elite speed, certainly when he's healthy, but I feel like OU can replace his production via the transfer portal.
Yeah, they can, and I'd imagine they make an effort to go get another guy that fits the Thompson mold, because you do like having a speed guy like that. You do love having a guy that's just a burner and can beat anybody, and, if the ball's there, he's going to make a house call. And that's what Thompson was for 2 seasons at Oklahoma. It's just really, I'm still struggling to wrap my mind around it, Tyler. This wide receiver room is going to be completely different next year. Completely different. Deion Burks and Jaden Gibson, well, Jaden Gibson's staying for sure. The consensus seems to be that Deion Burks is staying as well. Outside of that,
it's going to be one of the biggest overhauls of a single position group that I think that we've seen in a long time around here. I mean, quarterback is a little bit different because you don't have it, but like a position where the amount of bodies that wide receiver has, maybe that just needs to happen. I think a lot would argue that it does.
Absolutely wild, man. And what that tells you is something you already knew, but it really just re-emphasizes it. Emphasizes it all the more. Oklahoma's going to have to be ready to spend in the transfer portal, because when you lose this many wide receivers, Tyler, obviously you have to replace all those scholarships for one thing, but you also got to replace the production. It doesn't have to look the exact same. You don't have to go grab a guy that looks exactly like Thompson and plays exactly like Thompson. Maybe Ben Arbuckle's vision dictates that the Sooners pursue a different type of wide receiver, but the onus is really on Arbuckle and Emmett Jones at this point, to go rebuild this room from scratch, because that's basically what they're doing.
Just to put it in perspective, I'm going to list the wide receivers here. You tell me back or gone, and I'm going to count how many total here. Jaden Gibson, we'll say back, right? Jaden Gibson,
he's
say
back, yeah.
Jalil Farouk, gone. Nick Anderson, gone. Andrel Anthony, gone. Deion Burks, probably, hopefully, back. We'll count him as back right now. Zion Kearney, back. J.J. Hester, gone. Thompson, gone. Jaquez Petaway, gone. K.J. Daniels and Zion Reagans, along with Ivan Carrion. Right? That's back. So we're talking about like 5 receivers back from the 12 that I just listed. Over half of the top 12 wide receivers, as you saw it going into the year, are going to be gone for next season. It's going to be a big-time overhaul, man. It's crazy.
Man, some people just hate these receivers. I don't get it. Like, some people are hating on basically all these guys as they leave. Somebody in Texas said, "What the heck is the Thompson type? Unavailable and fragile? We need ball players who can stay healthy. Priority number 1. Is there anybody, does Oklahoma have a good football player on the roster? You tell me. Is there anybody on OU's roster that doesn't suck?
They did just have a all-SEC freshman in Jaden Jackson. I think he's pretty good.
Yeah, I feel like there are certain people who think Jaden Jackson and R. Mason Thomas are the only two good football players on this roster.
Got a couple of super chats to get to, both from House Money Productions. $1.99. Thank you, House Money Productions. We need to go get Gilbert at tight end from Nebraska. Eric Gilbert? How many schools has Eric Gilbert been to already? He's been to Georgia, LSU, then he went back to Georgia, or something happened there.
He lasted
and then
a couple months in Nebraska before he got arrested for robbing a convenient. No, it was a vape shop. It was a vape shop.
I agree. We need to go get that guy. Let's go. What are we waiting on? Come on. House Money Productions always says, I'm starting to think there is a plan in motion that even insiders have no clue about.
Like, there's gotta be, right? There's gotta be. This has to be the beginning stages and the very unpleasant beginning stages of some plan that is yet to be executed by this coaching staff. I don't know how you make sense of this otherwise.
My biggest question immediately is, okay, whose decision was this? Was this Brennan Thompson's decision, or was this OU's decision?
This is the first one where I'm like, I legitimately don't know whose decision this was. Because Brennan Thompson is one of those guys where, yeah, he's a good player. He's not an elite player. Maybe OU just decided we can upgrade. We'll push him out. Or maybe Brennan Thompson just decided, hey, you know what? I'll go find somewhere else to play my last year, some place that can showcase my talent a little bit better.
Who backs up Michael Hawkins Jr. in the bowl game, says Bobby and BA. I mean, it's going to have to be Casey Thompson. Andy Bass, the backup quarterback in the bowl game. What if Andy Bass gets him a chance running around? That'd be a lot of fun. But no, it's going to be Casey Thompson, backup quarterback. How much blame falls at the feet of Emmett Jones, says Doug and Mustang. Well, I think that we have to remember that some of these guys were definitely processed out at wide receiver.
Yeah.
I don't know if Brennan Thompson is one of those guys or not. You can place blame with Emmett Jones. I mean, clearly they suffered a lot of injuries, but those young wide receivers maybe didn't progress throughout the year like you liked. This is a very big year for Emmett Jones, and I think if Britt gets fired next year, then that's going to mean, just about all of these assistants, if not every one, won't have a place at Oklahoma the following year. But it's a big year for Emmett Jones coming up. I mean, for sure, it's a big year for everybody on staff next season.
Somebody in the 580 is on Internet Explorer. They texted and said, "What? Brennan Thompson to the portal?" Yes, Brennan Thompson to the portal. Cherokee Sooner says, Emmett Jones is about to be rolling in KREF Recruiter of the Month awards.
Hey, he set himself up to be the favorite for December. There's no doubt about that.
Maybe that's the reason. Maybe that's the reason they're processing all these wide receivers. Emmett Jones was sitting in his office going, I haven't been KREF Recruiter of the Month in way too long.
Let's clean house here and build it back up, okay? Come on. Just curious, is Eric McCarty still on the teams? As a texter from the 918, he entered in the portal earlier this week. I can't remember if that was Monday or Tuesday or what day that was. They're all run together at this point, but he's in the portal. Chris from Knoxville, this staff took, quote, never having this bad of a passing game again, quite literally. They are making sure that they do not run back the difficulties of this past season. If nothing else, we're going to get an entirely new wide receiver core. That's what's going to happen. 405 in all caps. Who cares about Thompson? 500 yards in his college career. Let's be real. Bye-bye. That individual's not sad at all at seeing Brennan Thompson.
Again, I'm convinced some of these people don't think there are any good football players on OU's roster. I don't love losing Brennan Thompson. You might be fine with it. That's okay. We don't have to see it the exact same way. I don't love losing that guy.
I think he could have had a role in the perfect situation. I don't think
he's never going to be your most productive wide receiver, but he was a nice piece to have.
But he would have been, and I think that was the hope this year, is along with Deion Burks being good and Farouk and Nick Anderson, all what you thought you were going to have at wide receiver. Hey, here's a guy that, may never even start a game, sparingly if he does, but he could be a weapon that you could use down the field. And clearly, he just wasn't that guy, and I think in large part because of all the injuries that they had at wide receiver and the role on this team that he had to play. So I do wonder he does have elite speed. Maybe Brennan Thompson will get a nice opportunity elsewhere. Maybe he'll go from Texas to Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State did recruit him coming out of Spearman, Texas.
That's very possible. That's very possible. I would think Oklahoma State or Texas Tech, right?
Chandler Morris to Brennan Thompson. They're in the Boone next year, huh? Could happen. Ellison BA says there are plenty good players on the roster. Obviously, there are some busts as well. Yeah, for sure. Absolutely. One-star Jay in Tulsa says whatever NIL money Brennan Thompson was getting should be directed straight to Dion Burks ASAP.
That actually says Dion Burkus.
Yeah. I was giving them the benefit of the doubts.
G-Money from Kansas says, sorry if you mentioned it. I just tuned in. Can Burks play in the bowl game? That's a great question. I don't know what his status is going to be for the bowl game.
Can I file my own crystal ball here on the show?
Yeah.
Forget Oklahoma State. Forget Texas Tech. I'm putting in a crystal ball to Mississippi State for Brennan Thompson.
Really?
Yeah. That's my crystal ball. My early prediction there.
I could see it.
Yeah. I think that could happen. Do you think OU will go after Stribling? He's a stud, says Tulsa Tim. I think there's a lot of wide receivers that they're in on right now, and I think that there's a lot of possibilities there at that spot. Who do we think? And by the way, has the ship sailed on Donovan McCulley out of Indiana? Are they going to lose out on that one?
I don't think they get him at this point.
So who would we at this point consider the top wide receiver target that OU is after? Reggie Virgil is in on a visit this weekend. Would we put him as number one?
I'd probably say so.
Yeah.
Reggie Virgil, and then from there, Neziah Hunter. He's another guy that's going to visit OU here in the coming days. Giovanni Gibson, the kid from Arkansas Pine Bluff. I don't know, man. It started to get really, really. Basically any wide receiver with a pulse that has produced that gets in the portal, he's going to be worth watching because Oklahoma's going to need them all.
408, I'm so sorry. This is from state of California. I'm so sorry, but at a 35,000-foot level, Brent has lost OCs, hired wrong OCs, lost Dillon, lost Arnold, and now all of these receivers. It's a pattern, people, for 3 years now. It's a pattern. Just saying. He lost an OC. I don't think that you can fault him for losing an OC to a head coaching job in the SEC. I think that happens. You can definitely fault him for hiring the wrong OC this past cycle. For sure. And let's be honest, Parker, if we're talking about a coaching search in a year's time, what are we, in sight unseen for this coming year, what are we immediately going to say cost Brent Venables his job at Oklahoma if he's fired in less than 12 months?
Hiring Seth Luttrell.
Yeah, and the offensive side of the football in large. Yeah, for sure. So if you want to criticize what's happened on the offensive side, Brent's even openly admitted that he made a mistake hiring Seth Luttrell at OC. 832 Mike says, I'm not concerned about Brennan Thompson leaving. I'm more concerned that we do not have any receivers left, and we are slow playing getting new ones in the portal. Call me an impatient person, but when we need to get 5 wide receivers at the minimum, and we haven't closed on one of them yet while other schools are getting commitments of players.
It's only been 3 days. I understand the impatience. Certainly I do. And there is, a very alarming need for receivers right now at Oklahoma. They need bodies. They need pass catchers. They need receivers in the worst way. Just give it time. Give it to this week. If next Monday rolls around and Oklahoma doesn't have a wide receiver or 2 already in the boat, then, okay, we'll all press the panic button together. But right now, I don't think it's worth freaking out over quite yet, even if you are worried.
Yeah. Hey, it'd be nice to help entice a potential portal quarterback that, hey, we got it figured out at wide receiver a little bit. Here's some of the guys that we have coming in via the portal. Because if a portal quarterback's looking at OU's wide receiver situation right now, it's like, dang, who they have coming back next year. Hey, by the way, and you can see this on the YouTube live video, limited edition Reagan Beers handcrafted pottery mug. You a big pottery guy, Parker? Like making pottery in your free time?
Not particularly.
Well, Reagan Beers does. She's an amazing basketball player, and she does fantastic handcrafted pottery as well. Got the Reagan Beers autograph at the bottom as well. Really cool. You can get yours at oneoklahoma.com, oneoklahoma.com. She was fantastic today on the Plank Show in an interview. Top 10 Oklahoma women's hoops. The